Hi, Christy Watts Coaching here. Today I want to talk to you about tolerance and about tolerating certain things in your life. I had a client today, and just so you know, this is a video I'm making for the future, so don't try and guess who it is. But I did have a client today who we've been working together for 2 months, and all of a sudden today she's like, I asked her, I said, "Is your husband an alcoholic?" And she said, "Well, yes, of course." And I was like, "Of course." I had no idea. And I should have seen some of the signs, but I did not know. And she had grown up in an alcoholic family, and her father was an alcoholic. And he was a highly, highly functioning alcoholic, but he was an alcoholic. And we got to talking about what was going on in her life. And what she realized was she was comfortable being around alcoholics. It was familiar to her to be around alcoholics. And it's just something I see all too much in coaching is that we all get really, really comfortable with what we're used to, even if it's not right, even if it's not the best situation for us, even if it isn't even a good situation for us, we're still comfortable with it. So we'd rather stay with that than reach out and do the change that will actually make a positive, that'll actually change our life for the better. We'd rather stay stuck with the familiar than reach out to what we don't know, which is scary and, could possibly be better or maybe might be worse. We don't even know yet. But talking with this woman, I realized that this is such a familiar situation that I have here in my office, is that people are they pick their mates, they pick their business partners, they pick everybody in their life based on what's familiar to them. So if their parents had some sort of hiccup or had some sort of, I don't want to say problem, but some part of their life that wasn't really working in their highest good, but you grew up in that situation, we all tend to be a little bit more drawn to that because, we know what that looks like. Even if it's not right, even if we say we never are going to do that, we're still drawn to that, and it happens subconsciously, which is another reason to go ahead and do our work, which is another reason to get really, really clear on what we're willing to tolerate and what we're absolutely not willing to tolerate. I've been in a relationship with someone who is an addict, and I didn't see it. I didn't know it. I had no idea about addicts. I'm learning a lot from one of my good friends who she has a blog called High End Hugs, and she's the one that teaches me so much about what it means to be an addict and what it means to love an addict and how it all means or how it all transfers. So if you have any questions on that, you should check out her blog. But what we need to get tight with is what we're willing to tolerate and what we're not willing to tolerate, and be able to look at things with fresh eyes through fresh views. And like I said, my addict, the guy that I dated who was an addict, I didn't know he was an addict. I didn't even know there could be an addict around this particular genre. And it took me a long time to figure out the signs and figure out, for a while it was like, oh my gosh, how can I help him and what can I do? But until they're ready, then you can only change yourself. You can only change you, which is why I'm saying have a really high level of integrity on what you are and are not willing to tolerate. And then look for it. And don't put your blinders on like, oh, he's so cute and he seems to have everything together. Like, what's this weird thing over here? Like, explore the weird thing over there and find out what it is to make sure that you're not going to end up tolerating something further down the line. When you get a year, 2 years, 3 years invested in a relationship, and then you find out the truth, that's a little bit different than knowing the truth up front or asking the right questions like, oh, this came up or this came up. Can you tell me what this means? Like, instead we do stepovers, and stepovers don't help us, or they don't help anybody else out. So don't do the stepovers. Ask the difficult questions up at the beginning, and then decide if you want to go forward with the relationship instead of tolerating things within the relationship. For me, it came out that I was absolutely unwilling to tolerate the addiction that I had going on in that relationship. And because I pulled out of it and I got out of that relationship, I knew to look for it in the future. And so I knew how to look for it in different areas. Like I said, areas that I didn't even think that could be addictions. So just get tight with that. Get tight about what you're willing to tolerate and what you're not. And if you're not willing to tolerate it, then you have to do something about it. And you can't expect the other person to fix it, because the only person that we can fix is ourselves. So do the work. Hopefully the other people involved will follow and they'll see the positive change in your life. They'll want to create that positive change in their life, and then they'll move forward with that. That's it for today. Mwah. Live your life on purpose. Bye-bye.